Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down the best Warzone player in the game. Diaz Biffle was at COD next. Let's go through, break down some of his gameplay of Black Ops 6 and see exactly what he does and what makes him so good, because this guy is unbelievable. Let's get right into it. Off the break, he goes through, and one thing I'm going to talk about is controlling the gunfight and centering, things that I always notice from Biffle and how he does them so well. So you see how he's getting that first shot. He's always trying to get that health advantage. Now I know it's an obvious point, but to be honest, a lot of Call of Duty is obvious. It comes down to the execution. It's not always about what they do. Like, we're not going to see him fly across the map, right? It's going to be things that we will have ability to do, but it's how he does it so well. See right now, look, he goes through, you see how he gets that first shot off and then backs away, right? He's always trying to get that advantage in the gunfight. So I'm really curious how his centering lines up, how he uses his Omni movement and stuff like that. So even immediately, look at this, as he slides around the corner, essentially perfect centering, goes through, nice little kill. So one thing I always notice from Biffle specifically is I think he has the best centering I have seen in yeah, it's very hard to beat this guy centering. Obviously I watch a lot of CDL pros, and I'm not going to say he has better centering than them, even though I have said that in the past. I don't know, man. It's just like when I watch him, I feel like his centering is always on point. But let's go through. We're also going to kind of address the gameplay itself with Black Ops 6 and just what we think about it. But again, like I mentioned, he goes across, look at that centering. It's just flawless centering. 6 sensitivity is what he normally runs, and the reason why is because centering is a big part of the gameplay. He's able to go through, use his crosshairs as his main kind of priority, and just get really effective with it. Oh, frying Kenny there, not ideal as an optic fan. Okay, gets a 3-piece. This guy's disgusting. But Omni movement, man, let's talk about it. How we feeling about Omni movement? Like, you're seeing it right there, just dolphin diving to the left, to the right. I think it's going to be so fun to use. I've seen some people say that it's not as good as they thought or stuff like that, but honestly, I think you got to remember, first of all, this is an alpha, basically. They're not even playing the beta. This isn't even been too long. They've only played for a little bit, so they haven't been able to test everything out, like get the best loadies, get the best perks and all that stuff. So I'm sure this weekend with the beta coming out, we're going to see so much more that we didn't see now. And also just like, there's going to be so many different things, like different movements that we haven't even realized. Going to be different perks that they probably haven't got a chance to use. So many variables that we haven't even considered yet. So I do think that this version of the game will always be not the worst version, but it won't be as good as the next version. So something I mentioned in the Joe O video I did yesterday, I want you guys to look at the right hand side. Can you see he gets like a movement speed, like a speed boost? I don't know what that is, and I'm really curious to see what that is. Is that something you get from a perk? Is it something you get from every kill? Is it just a part of the game? I don't know, because Joe had it in team deathmatch and now we're in domination, so it's definitely not like a specific game mode thing. It really is down to something in game, but I really like it. It's a really good way of adding pacing to the game. You can see every time he gets a kill, he has a small speed boost. And again, I don't know where that comes from, but as we go through, movement looks fairly smooth in this game. You can see he's trying to practice that Omni movement. That is something I recommend for you as well. When you guys are playing the beta, to get ahead when the game comes out, try to practice that Omni movement. And anytime there's a new thing, just as a kind of tip, most of the time in games, I would say this applies a lot to FIFA as well, which I have another channel on, but also applies to Call of Duty. Just generally, whenever there's a new feature, it's the same thing with weapons, right? Whenever there's a new weapon, most of the time they tend to be better than the old stuff because the developers want incentive for you to use it. Does that make sense? Like, imagine the Omni movement was terrible. It kind of defeats the point of having it as a main like selling point, right? So whenever there is like a new feature, a new movement, try to practice it as much as possible. Try to watch the best players practice it and see how they do, and you're gonna realize, okay, you know what, this is actually better than what I used to do. So a lot of people are very comfortable, right? They might just do a standard like slide or stuff like that, but with Omni movement, I really recommend trying it out, because I do think that it's going to be a big part of Black Ops 6. And if you guys are trying to get ahead early, which you probably are if you're subscribed to the channel, you guys know this is a very tips and tricks heavy based channel, then you will want to use Omni movement, which we will have plenty of tutorials for. But yeah, as we're going through this map, I'm a fan of. I actually like this map. I think it will be in competitive as well. I think it will be in the CDL. Just from first looks at it, it looks like it will be included. Oh my god, what the, I didn't know this was a route. Did not know this was a route. This does feel like Cold War 2.0. It feels like Cold War rebooted, which I'm not sure how people feel about that. Overall, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. I do think Cold War was a fun game. One thing I was kind of critical about in Cold War was the movement. I wanted it to be a little bit more flashy, a little bit faster, and this literally looks like it. This looks like a modded version of Cold War. This literally feels like that. It looks like it. It's like Cold War with more movement. You're seeing it right there. Great little movement there to get out the gunfight and just win that one. And yeah, I mean, so far I think the game looks very good, but let's see if Biffle does anything crazy that we can kind of highlight. Like I said, he's using a lot of Omni Movement, going through. He's taking his time there, and oh, lunchtime. Okay, lunchtime's coming to play right now. Lunchtime's coming, trying to show him that the rank play kids can hang as well, man. Good stuff from lunchtime there. Good kill and Biffle. And this lobby, I know there's a few people there, like what's it called? Creators, sorry, not creators. There's a few of the staff and stuff like that, but most of this lobby is full of content creators, so it's a pretty stacked lobby. Bro, some good shots here. That was our boy FIFA kill. Yeah, they got Blake, FIFA kill, Adrian, lunchtime. It's not an easy lobby. It's a pretty stacked lobby from the other team as well. Goes through. Even right now, this for me is controlling the gunfight. Oh, they got Kenny as well. Am I tweaking? How did I forget about that? Oh my god, Kenny just fell off the map. What are you doing, Kenny? What are we doing? Let's see how he did that one though. Let's go back there. Let's see what he did to that second player. I think that was pretty good. What he did to that second player? Again, just seeing what type of movement, that's the main thing. We're just trying to focus and see what is the skill gap early on, what's going to be the meta and stuff like that. So right now, look how he's playing his life. So when you're weak in these scenarios, you don't really want to overcommit because the other player has a health advantage, right? So he's simply trying to find an advantage, and there he gets it. And this is Kenny. We're talking about a world champ on the other team, one of the best players of all time on the other team, and he falls off the map. Come on, Kenny. But right now, look, he slides past him and jumps backwards. So again, just making sure you're adding that movement to your game is something we're seeing Biffle do already, which is a lot of the skills are transferable, right? So like, I wasn't surprised to see Biffle go there and, you know, be dominant. I wasn't expecting him to go there and be terrible. Obviously, it's a new Call of Duty, but a lot of the skills are transferable. And that's why it's so important, something like Omni Movement, right? To practice as much as you can, because all your other skills are going to be transferable from old Call of Duties. So what you want to do is all the new skills, you want to make sure you have a big advantage on. I guarantee you someone like Shotzi is going to be like really practicing heavy on the Omni Movement, seeing where he can get the advantage and what he can find out. That's what makes him so consistent and so good. Something I also want to address is the stim shot. So we have seen a lot of stim shots. I saw it in Joe Wo's gameplay as well. I think the stim shots might be back. Now, I don't know if they didn't have any other tacticals available, because I haven't seen a lot of stun grenades. I haven't seen any, to be honest with you. So it could be a case where they didn't have any of it, but I am a big fan of a stim shot meta. I feel like having that pacing just makes it more fun. I don't like getting stunned as well, so I'm a big fan of the stim shot meta. Hopefully it's one to stay. Okay, at range, yeah, you're not winning that one at range. Even right there, just playing his life really well. That comes out to discipline, I think. And just knowing that you're not going to win that specific gunfight and then being able to like, reposition, I do think comes down to discipline. Wow, look at the dolphin dive again, bro. He's kind of frying with this. Oh my god, this guy's going to be disgusting again for another year. I mean, not that I'm surprised, but yeah, this guy's going to be gross, bro. He's doing this in these lobbies. Imagine him in Warzone. This guy's going to be cooking. Bro, why is this guy so good? Like, Chat, he's younger than me, bro. It's so embarrassing for me. Like, this guy's insane. This guy's insane. Him and Kenny are they're moving like Ronaldo and Messi right now with the battles, bro. They're going back and forward. What is Kenny using? That was on big ass goal. Was that like an LMG? Yeah, I do think that movement right there, that sideways dolphin dive is definitely going to be one to practice. I really hope they don't nerf any movement, man. I really hope they kind of, if anything, add a bit more. I was watching a lot of the Black Ops 6 feedback from like Repulse, and he did a great job just kind of giving his feedback. Him, Sage, they had like a little podcast thing, so I think he did a really good job with J God and stuff like that. Ebate, so yeah, Repulse did a great job kind of breaking down the game and what they felt for it. And one point as well with the beta is obviously they played at COD Next, right? There was no overclock controllers, there was no like home setup. You see they're on 150 FPS. I do think this weekend we're going to see a true experience of the game, and hopefully when the game comes out they don't nerf any movement, chat. Last year was a big thing. They nerfed the tack sprint, they nerfed like the they nerfed a few of the movements, and it made it a little bit annoying. I do remember there was the slide cancel was a lot smoother at the start of this year, and they just nerfed it. They nerfed it because I don't think they wanted that spammy slide cancel how we had before in like MW19, but they nerfed it a little bit too much, and then they had to find the balance. I think they got the balance okay, but yeah, definitely could add a bit more movement. I mean, movement's just fun for everyone, man. It's just fun. Even for casuals, it's just, you know, it's just a skill gap, which some don't like, but most of the time it helps people out, man. Having a higher skill gap is always going to be good for the game. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Little bit of lag there. What's going on? Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Pops is going to be... Like, I'm watching this now, and like I said, okay, I don't know why it's so laggy. Let's skip forward a little bit. Okay, he's on a new map. We're going to watch a little bit more, but it's going to give our final thoughts. What's he using here? So, like I said, this really does remind me of the Cold War, bro. This literally looks like the Krig with like a red dot, bro. But another point I wanted to make was just I think games like this, they are pretty fun for cameras. I'm not gonna lie, they are pretty fun to like grind cameras in. Let's see what else he's got here. So you got a new game. Okay, so they got the suppressor and stuff. And you can see, chat, another big thing. If you guys look at the cons here, can you see there's no cons? Something I saw them talk about. Every attachment is going to have a pro, and look how many attachments you have. You have 8 attachments. So in terms of the builds we're able to make, I think they're going to have some really good builds. Really good builds, really creative builds. I'm not against that. I'm really not against that, because I feel like, yeah, so a few of them are going to have cons, but most of the time you're looking at all these underbarrels, right? There's no cons. So what you can really do is you can really make a build how you want. Now, sometimes it does get overcomplicated. I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't think that's going to be the worst thing. I don't think that's going to be the worst thing. I think you can make any gun good, which I think is a really important thing. Yo, he's shooting Selim's. That's insane. You're shooting MC's body? The hell? What did MC do to you? Okay, this guy's insane. Look at them shots, bro. What is he doing? That's a touch right there. That's a world champ. But yeah, like I was saying, is like, especially for like me as a creator, I'm really excited to test like pretty poor builds and just make the meta. And just, I think for Warzone, having the same meta is really stale, and I'm hoping this is a step in the right direction where people can use guns they want to use rather than guns they have to use. You see where I'm coming from, chat? Like, imagine you want to use the MP5, you know, it's one of your favorite guns, but the static is just meta, and you want to like get high kill games and you can't with the MP5. At least with this new attachment guide and system, I'm hoping using the 8 attachments to make your gun kind of better, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. There's still going to be some guns that are just insane, which could also be the downside of this. You know, having 8 attachments on good guns could make it even more broken. So I think we're gonna have to wait and see for that one, see how it really plays out. This map, I saw Joe playing it as well. I mean, it's okay for pubs. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's all right. I'm really looking at the competitive side, seeing what maps we can really play for that. And yeah, so again, another thing that was kind of, this is why I wanted to go through different people's perspective, is like, we saw in the first game, Biffle used a lot more of the Omni movement going sideways. I did see a lot of that, trying to test it out. This game, using an assault rifle, you see he's not using it as much. He is kind of sliding all over the place, but he's not really using that Omni movement as much. He's kind of doing more, I would say, traditional movement. You're seeing it right here as well. Look, just standard slide cancels, jump shots, just stuff like that. Nothing really crazy with the Omni movement. So it will be interesting to see if the assault rifle players do adapt to that, maybe add some movement to theirs as well, or they a bit more, you know, just posting up on head glitches and stuff like that as a traditional AR. So it will be interesting to see. I know as an SMG player, someone like Shotzi, like I mentioned, he's obviously going to be trying to abuse that as much as possible. So it will be a good balance. I will find it quite interesting. I do want to see more of that backwards dolphin dive, chat. That is one thing I really wanted to see, is that backwards dolphin dive, and I haven't been able to see too much of it. So hopefully in the beta, I can, when I get my hands on the game, I'll be able to test out some more movement. I want you guys to let me know down below what specific guides you guys want for the beta. Obviously, when the real game comes out, we're going to be dropping so many guides, but if there's anything specific you guys want to maybe practice, like with Omni movement or anything like that, let me know, man. I'm down to try some stuff out. The beta, we do have 2 weeks of it. So we have this weekend up to Wednesday, and then we also have next weekend from next Friday, I believe, to like next Monday, right? So the game's out in about, I would say 6-7 weeks, around maybe 8, maybe 2 months. So until then, we have 2 weekends of the beta. And yeah, should be some fun. YouTube, you guys know the drill. Drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Obviously, shout out to Biffle. This is his gameplay. I'm not taking any credit for the gameplay. You can literally see a screen on the left, his name. But this was just more, obviously, I wasn't at COD Next, right? So I wanted to just watch some gameplay. Shout out to the boy Biffle. Shout out to Joe for yesterday's video. And yeah, YouTube, you guys know the drill. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy. I'll catch you guys for another one tomorrow. Peace.